The greatest welterweights boxing's ever seen, Kell Brook. Kell, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well. very well, ready for Christmas.
Yeah, well, you've been out in Fuerteventura, I believe, recently, out in the warm weather there.
Yeah, I've just actually come back from Lapland with kids, so I've been up and down. I've had hot weather, then freezing cold, whatever. But yeah, I've been doing a bit of training and just enjoying life, in Fuerteventura. I've got a place out there, yeah.
Okay, ticking over in the gym out there.
Ticking over, yeah, doing what I do.
Good stuff. Because then, I saw on social media you were down in Bournemouth for Chris Williams-Smith's fight last weekend, and it had a bit of a controversial ending, didn't it? Like he didn't quit on his stool as such, but they threw the towel in when he was still in the fight.
I was looking at the fight. It were a very. I'm happy that Billum got the win and it went the way it went, but that guy was tough and he kept coming on to Williams-Smith. It were an hard fight for both men, but I think that it hit him down to the body and it were a bit of a weird one. He didn't come out from the corner. I think he broke his rib. But yeah, we're down there and Williams-Smith got the win. It were a funny one. It looked like he broke his rib with them left and right hooks to the body.
Do you think there'll be a rematch on the cards, or that division's got a bit of a weird one, isn't it? It's not too much going on.
It's a weird division, cruiserweight, and I don't think that they'll do the rematch. No. I think that he moves on Williams-Smith now and he fights some other contenders.
See where he goes next year. Some other things that have been going on social media, I don't know if you saw Clarissa Shields, some old footage emerged of her getting knocked down in sparring by a Latvian guy. His name is Arturs Amatovs. And then she's saying, you took some padding out of your gloves, you're cheating, all this and that. What do you make of that? Do you think there's something in that? Or just
I've seen that clip and I don't believe that he would have took padding out, but I don't think that women should be sparring men in first place, to be honest with you. But it's getting the views. Obviously, she got put down in sparring. What else is going to be happening in sport? Are women going to be fighting men?
Well, this is what people are saying. Like that clip was about 4 years ago, and people are saying, defensively she's improved a lot since then. People want to see them get in the ring and do it for real, but I don't know if that would get sanctioned or
No, I don't think that women should fight men at all. I don't think so. As much as these people will pay to watch anything and love to see it. I don't think that it should happen.
Morally, it's a bit.
I don't think it should happen. Yeah,
stick to women on women and men on men.
Exactly.
That's it, man. Fair enough. When we spoke to you back in July at the fishing, just before Chris Eubank Jr. took on Liam Smith, and I think you predicted the same outcome in the rematch that there would have been in the first match, which was Liam Smith.
Yeah.
He stopped him, didn't he, in the first match? But then, did he win on point? But he definitely won anyway, obviously. And then Eubank Jr. won the rematch. And Liam Smith was saying it was due to him having to drop 42 pounds to make the weight and stuff like that. Do you buy into that, or do you think that was just him kind of finding an excuse for it?
No, you're only as good as your last fight. Obviously, the people just go on, on the result. But I know I went backstage and I know Liam Smith well, and I know that he was struggling. He had an injury into the fight. I says to him, but us fighters, we don't do it. Why don't you pull out? But when you're on a big card and you're getting close to a fight, you've done all the training. You're always going to come into a fight with some kind of injury, but he had like a bad injury, and I know that he had to drop a lot of weight. Not making any excuse for him. The better man won, in Eubank. But the first fight, Liam stopped Eubank, and then the second one, he boxed really well Eubank and did what he's supposed to do and got rid of Liam. But like I say, you don't know. There were injuries, there were massive weight cuts he had to do. So
it's like he rolled his ankle a couple of times in that fight as well.
I think he's always had some kind of it's like a tick or something. He's always done that, in all his fights, but maybe more so in that fight. Yeah, you could see him really rolling the ankles, couldn't you?
Yeah, for real. I know you are retired as such, but you know, people always, when I said to people, oh, I'm talking to Kell Brook tomorrow, they'll be like, oh, ask him if he's gonna be tempted out of retirement. Like, who would he most want to fight if he came back? Like, would you? Because obviously we've seen you have a bit of a, you know, face off with Conor Benn back in, when was it, March over in Dublin?
Yeah.
So there's a bit of bad blood there, isn't there? Like, but then at the moment it's looking like Conor Benn and Eubank Jr. aren't going to be able to get it together by what Eddie Hearn's saying. So it's all a bit of a mix-up at the moment. How do you see it?
I think the driving seat for me, if I did come back, you know, I'd be Chris Eubank.
Yeah.
You know, the reason being is Conor Benn has got this the drug allegations over his head, and he's not sanctioned with Boxing Board of Control. You know, so you know he's a bit out of the picture a little bit. You know, but obviously the two names there are the names what could excite me and get me back in that ring. You know, Eubank or Benn. But I think if I did come back and some, you know, and the right figure got mentioned, you know, I could put the pipe and slippers away and get the running trainers back on and get on the road. You know, so yeah, I'm retired at the minute, but yeah, I'd be willing to talk about them fights and possibly have another one last dance.
That's what people want to hear.
Everywhere I go, people are saying they want me out of retirement. You know, that boxing's dead without me. You know, there's not really been anything exciting bar me and Khan. What fights have been out there? Really, what have really got the juices flowing? There ain't none.
Yeah.
Really. Tell me one. There's not, is there?
Well, people are talking about Ben and Eubank Jr., but at the moment it's just not going to happen, isn't it? So that's why we need you back.
That's it. So show me the Benjamins and
get some like a lightning bolt in the mixture there.
And I'll be back for y'all guys.
Okay, because we got obviously the Day of Reckonings coming up, which is out in Riyadh, isn't it? Saudi Arabia. We've got Anthony Joshua and Otto Woollin. Obviously it's not really what people want to see, but apparently Deontay Wilder and AJ are going to get it on in March next year. So
I've heard that.
If both win their fights before Christmas, then it's all roads lead to, I presume we'll be back in Saudi Arabia. But how do you see that going? Like, what's your verdict on their styles coming together, clashing?
It's a very exciting fight for the fans, explosive. You know, I think that just with his him getting beat like he has, Joshua, I think something has gone in him, you know, and I think Wilder is the devastating finisher. He can punch, you know, so it'd be very exciting, but as we stand here today, I'd have to lean towards, you know, Wilder, you know, Deontay Wilder
because he's still got that unbeaten mentality.
Because he's got that unbeaten mentality, like, you know Harry Goloff, you know, he comes to destroy, and I think that, but like I say, it's heavyweight boxing, and you know, I think that it's gonna definitely get the fans excited if that fight does come off. And I definitely don't see it going 12 rounds, put it that way. But I you know, definitely not going 12.
It's gonna be an exciting
knockout.
Match.
See we come.
Big time. You can see both of them getting knocked down and maybe getting back up. Like, I don't know.
These are the fights. What excite us, you know, us fans. Yeah.
AJ was calling out Tyson Fury the other day, wasn't he? Wasn't holding back. He called him like a fat slob and stuff in his last performance, like, because remember when Fury was calling him a bodybuilder, this and that, and he'd say you got knocked down by a bodybuilder like Francis Ngannou. Like, how impressed were you by him and his performance?
I was very impressed. You know, he's never boxed in his life, and to fight the undisputed heavyweight champion in Tyson Fury, you know, I thought it'd be a walk in the park for Fury, but it shows you that, you know, that African strength, you know, that, like, you know, he can't push and bully and use his weight against him. Raw power, and you know, he and especially a man what doesn't fully know what he's doing himself with regards in shot selection. You know, if he didn't know what we were doing, Tyson Fury definitely didn't know what we were doing. True, yeah. But at the end of the day, you know, he went in there, he showed a greater account of himself. You know, and I think that it's put him right up there, you know, in world boxing.
He went straight into the top 10, didn't he? I'm not sure if it was WBC or one of the.
And this is a guy who's never fought a professional boxing fight, you know. So it shows you that, you know, he looked good. I was impressed with him.
I wonder who he's going to be matched up with next, because I haven't heard any potential opponents. But you'd think people would be wary of like taking him. I think Tyson Fury maybe underestimated his boxing skills, didn't he? His pedigree.
Yeah. So, you know, I think that he could, you know, he could dance with any of the top 10, you know, heavyweights out there. So,
maybe
you know,
like Chisora, just to see.
Chisora, you know, Parker, these fighters, you know, I'd like to see him with any of them. You know, it'd be really interesting.
Intriguing, yeah, definitely. Going back to Conor Benn for a minute there, like, do you feel, because obviously you achieved so much in the sport, you see all your belts up here, do you feel like he's shown you a lack of respect for everything that you've achieved? Like, do you think he's young and arrogant, and that's just how a lot of people are when they're coming up?
You know, I don't know. You know, I think that deep down he does show he has got respect for me, but I think with everything, a young fighter, with everything what's been happening to his life, you know, over the past couple of years with this drug thing, and you know, he was a man before that to come what would have going to be next pay-per-view fighter. You know, I think that he's obviously got excited, got carried away with himself, and wants to be in the limelight still, and you know, it gives me a bit of a push there in Dublin.
Yeah.
You know, I think you've seen that there, and you know, he just wants to fight, doesn't he? He wants the big fights, but he's a young kid, and you know, he's got this over his head, you know, this problem. So, you know, see what happens with this. See what happens with the appeal and with boxing board, and if he gets his license,
see where it goes. I guess
see where it goes.
Frustration inside him because he can't. You know, now that's happened to him. He'll never be able to like wipe that off the slate. That will always be kind of like a cloud over him until it's gone. But yeah,
I think it'll always have a cloud over him. You know, just where the kick up its head from when it happened. You know.
Moving on though, I don't know if you saw this. It's another kind of weird one. We keep seeing these like exhibition fights being made, and now I saw Roy Jones Jr. Apparently, he's trying to make a fight with Tommy Fury. So Roy Jones Jr. is 54, Tommy Fury's 24. Like, obviously, that's a massive age gap. What do you feel about these kind of exhibition fights? Like, are they taking some of the shine off boxing, or is that one that kind of genuinely intrigues you a bit? Because, you know, Roy Jones Jr. is such a like classy boxer in his day. Tommy Fury not really got the like actual boxing skills that his brother or cousin's got. So how do you see that?
I just see from proper real fighters what I've done it from being a little kid in amateurs, work the way up on small amounts of money over the years to get where they're going to get. I feel for them because, you know, they've had to do it really hard. Some of these YouTubers and things, you know, they've never boxed before. They get a lot of money, a lot of attention, you know. So I can see it, but obviously for the guys what are doing it, you know, it's entertaining. People want to watch it. You know, they're earning money, so I can see from their side. You know, it's one of them. And like you said, Fury and Roy Jones, you know, I'll be watching it. You know, we'll be watching it just to see, you know, because Roy Jones was a man. He's past it. Let's see, you know, what Tommy's like against an old legend. Like you still tune in and watch it. You know, it's entertainment, and the times are changing. You know, the times are changing with everything what's going on in the world. So, you know,
wouldn't it? Because obviously, you probably still wouldn't have the power to the extent, but you still have the like reactions.
We want to see. That's what I mean. We don't know. We like me as a massive Roy Jones fan. You know, from when he was in his prime and what he did to boxing and how he went through the gears and the weights and what he'd done, unbelievable. But what hurts me is like how he carried on and obviously tarnished his legacy. You know, and this is one as well. You know, but like
Eubank Jr., wasn't he?
We're training Eubank Jr. Yeah.
Do you feel that's tarnished him a bit or not?
Nah, I think that, you know, he's just involved. You know, he obviously loves boxing and. He's a commentator, he's a trainer, you know, he's a fighter.
In terms of exhibition matches that people could see you like getting involved in, would you be thinking maybe down the line to something like a Manny Pacquiao exhibition or like another Amir Khan type rematch thing as an exhibition? Or
you know, yeah, I think that, you know, I wouldn't shy away from him, you know, if it made sense for me and the people and the fans wanted to see it, you know. Maybe we could get Conor or Manny Pacquiao back in. Get Manny Pacquiao, and of course he's a legend. Of course, I'd like to share the ring with Manny Pacquiao, you know, the serious fighter.
Yeah,
So,
legendary.
of course, yeah, I'd be interested in them.
Ricky Hatton did one, didn't he? Like last year.
He did one against Barrera.
Barrera, that's it. Yeah. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Was it
Good,
good?
yeah, it was a good fight. You know, a good expedition fight. Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. That's one maybe for the future.
Maybe.
But maybe that might have to come after Eubank Jr. We'll wait and see on that.
We'll see.
But this weekend we've got Sonny Edwards, who's kind of like been a bit adopted by Sheffield, hasn't he? Because he's from South London originally. He moved up here like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
And now he's flying out to America to take on Jesse Rodriguez for like a unification flight of their flyweight titles. How much do you know about him, and how much have you seen of him?
I don't know really much about his opponent. I know he's good, but I think that he is an unbelievable. Edwards is an unbelievable talent.
Yeah.
He's got all the moves. You know, he's lacking the power, but you know, it's not the end of the world. He's very, very good technical, very good fighter, and it's going to be an hard fight. You know, this fight, but I'm backing him. You know, to take all them belts. I really am. Yeah. He's a very talented fighter, very good fighter, and I hope that he can pull it off.
He's not the favourite for it, but I presume that's partly because he's the away fighter, isn't he? He's flying over there. He's got to convince the judges that he's done enough. But he's, like you said, he's got the skill set. He's got the speed. He's got all the attributes. Just can he put it together on the big stage?
That's it.
The biggest fight of his career.
I believe they can. I believe that I think that he can pull it off. And I think he will shine on that big stage. Yeah. I do. You know, it's a decent ask for him, but I think that with his pedigree and what he can do, I think that he can win.
That's good to hear. That's what Josh Warrington said as well. We chatted to him last week, and he's got high hopes for him. So fingers crossed, Sonny Edwards gonna get the job done out there. What we want to? Okay, moving away from boxing slightly. I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Now I was looking back. And earlier this year, you were actually like the bookies' favourites to be on that show. I don't know if that's news to you or you were aware of it at the time, but what actually happened with that? Did they make an offer to you, or was it just not up to the standards that you were hoping?
No, I think that we went down. I think somebody else maybe got picked for it, but you know, I've been watching a little bit, Tony Bello in there, and I think, do you know what? You know, I think it's my mum's dream for me to go in there, and you know, I'd definitely be up for going on. Okay. You know, I think it'd be a great experience to go out there and to do the challenges, you know, overcome, you know, my fears. Right. And it'll be great entertainment for TV.
Yeah, boxers always seems to do well on it, don't they?
Yeah.
Like sports in general, but boxers particularly. So yeah. But I suppose it's because maybe the public don't get to see the other side behind the not the facade, but like the
fighter. Yeah, I think people just see the interviews and what's going to happen in this fight or whatever, but they're seeing the real person. Do you know what I mean? And I think that people enjoy to see that.
Yeah, Tony finished runner-up, didn't he?
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good effort. You reckon you could go one better?
I'd try. I mean, I try to win. You know, us fighters, we love winning. Very competitive in anything we do. You know.
Because now, obviously, when you step away from the ring, sometimes trying to replicate that adrenaline rush or that kind of thing. Have you got any hobbies that you've found recently? I don't know, maybe skydiving or...
Yeah, I did a bungee jump, you know, I'm scared of heights, but I did it in Croatia not long ago. My bucket list is jump out of a plane. You know, I've gone on to downhill mountain biking and stuff, you know, adrenaline.
Okay,
you know,
I saw the bikes over there actually.
These kind of things, the bikes, so you know, there's always something happening in in my life.
Do you ride motorbikes? I see the Harley.
I got that when I boxed Terence Crawford. You know, it's never even been started in this country. Wow. I think it looks good. It's the the original old Terminator. Yeah, you know, serious. Harley Davidson Fat Boy.
What's the CCs on that?
Fat Boy. It's like a 1400.
1400. Okay, that's big. That's big.
Big.
Yeah. Serious acceleration.
Yeah.
Trying to wheelie that would be hard work.
Definitely. It's not a wheeling bike. It's not a wheeling bike. No.
A little motocross bike for that. But we mentioned Ricky Hatton earlier. He's doing dancing on ice. I don't know if you've seen that starting in January. We chatted to him, and I think he was a little bit nervous about it, but obviously it's a bit different from being in the ring, isn't it? Would you ever give? Are you a fan of ice skating, or would you ever give that a go?
It's funny you've said that. When I was in Bournemouth, I did a bit of ice skating there, down in their centre, and I stayed on my feet.
Yeah.
I stayed on my feet, but it is difficult. But yeah, I like challenges. I like to push myself and compete. You know, I'd do that. Yeah. I go out and dance tonight, see what I can do.
Yeah, got the moves already.
Got the moves, baby.
That's it. Remember, Carl Froch, he did a few dancing shows back in the day, didn't he? And then, well, actually, it's ironic because he was grilling. Who was it who did it before him? Joe Calzaghe did it.
Yeah.
He grilled him, and then he ended up doing it as well. So yeah. But, yeah, it seems like boxers have got. Obviously, you got the moves. I know you got the
moves.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's finish off with just a few predictions for. We got you a prediction for AJ Wilder. You reckon Wilder's going to win that? You said, yeah? Yeah. And then what about, we've got Wilder Parker coming up. I presume you're going to go with Wilder for that. And how do you reckon he'll do that? Early stoppage?
I'm good friends with Parker, but you know, I can't be on the fence. You know, and I've got to say it as he is. I see Wilder, you know, beating Parker, but I think that he's not going to have it his own way. I think it's going to go, you know, mid to late round. I think that is, and then I think he'll catch up with Parker. But you know, I think his power is a massive puncher, and you know, I think that it's obviously aimed for Anthony Joshua and for Wilder to come through their fight, so they fight each other. Yeah. You know, so I think the bookies have obviously got Wilder to, you know, favourite, and they generally don't get it wrong. Yeah,
that's fair. What about Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, are they going to get it? I don't know if it's been agreed yet or what's happening with that. But
you know,
they eventually do.
I think they've got to. You know, they've got to get it on. And if they do get it on, I'm going to stick with Tyson. You know, just the size of him. You know, is agile like Usyk. I think that they're both similar. I think Usyk's probably a better mover, but I think that, you know, just the size and leaning on him, and a proper heavyweight in Tyson Fury, and he moves like a welterweight, you know. So I think that I'd have to definitely go for Fury in that fight.
Yeah, because when they're talking about, you know, fighting before the end of the year, it never really seemed realistic, did it? Considering what that fight, the Ngannou fight was, what, October?
Yeah.
So
no.
Like, when he said, oh, you know, if Usyk pulls out, then but then it turned out that, you know, Tyson Fury was the one who decided after that performance he needed a bit more time. So it makes sense, but I reckon we probably still won't see it for like another 3-4 months if we do.
I don't know. I'm not bothered about all that. I'm just bothered about it happening.
Exactly.
And you know, I think that it's that much of a massive fight where people need to see it. I think eventually it has to happen. You know,
same as Joshua Wilder, it has to happen. Surely 2024 is the year.
You know, Brook can't eventually happen. You know,
you made us wait a while, but eventually we got it.
I didn't make you wait, he did, but it happened.
Yeah. No, but thank God it eventually did.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll ever see it again, but maybe not. Who knows? But
who knows?
But yeah. So wait, one more question actually, just before we end. Obviously, hopefully we see you in the ring against Eubank Jr. But if Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn get it on first, what way do you see that going?
You know, it's a good fight. You know, I think that I'd have to probably go with Eubank. You know, I'd probably have to go with Eubank, just a bit more experienced weight. You know, and he's been a bit more active. Maybe, I don't know. You know, I think that he's just an overall bigger guy, and I think that he beats him.
Yeah, even Conor Benn in his last fight, he couldn't finish that Mexican guy, could he? Even
he couldn't finish the Mexican guy, but we found out the Mexican guy were actually on performance enhancement drugs after the fight. Oh, yeah. It's a mad thing. Like, we've got Ben who failed the drug test, then he's come clean and he fought this guy, and this guy's failed the test. Yeah. You know, so it's mental what's going on.
Hopefully we don't see too much more of that next year. Maybe
no.
Like a clean slate in boxing, and people can.
I think that we need the drug tests to be more, to have better tests and to get these fighters what are cheating.
Yeah, catch them early doors. All right, well, I think that sums it up well. All right, Kell, Brook, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Nice one. Thank you.